Well, we managed to meet up in the middle at least.
Yeah, but otherwise I'd say we're at a stalemate here.
These guys are a real pain in the ass.
It makes for a killer photo op, though. These snaps are like gold!
They've taken countermeasures to ensure the Merkaba wouldn't be able to act.
So it seems. With all these guns trained on us, we'd end up taking too much concentrated fire.
Maybe we can just shoot down one of theirs.
I'm afraid that's not an option. They'd simply use it against us.
Agreed. They need only spin it as a declaration of war.
The Erebonian Intelligence Division is poised and ready to flood the world with misinformation. All they need is an excuse.
Then the Scarecrow's already at work. I'd expect no less from Osborn's right-hand man. We'll have to count on Richard and the others to stave them off.
Indeed. Lecter, how did this happen?
They've got the whole airspace locked down tight. Not one gap to be seen.
Brigadier General Bardius, shouldn't we go help them?
If Zephyr's out there, I should be too.
This is the perfect chance for me to knock some sense back into George.
No. I need all of you to stand down.
It seems your worst-case scenario is upon us.
I'm afraid so.
Mildine? No, you don't mean...
Major activity on the Glorious! There's something massive deploying on deck!
Oh no! I knew it.
Stole that fight.
Seriously? They're busting out those huge hunks of metal again? Ions?
3 of them.
They look a little different from the ones we saw in Crossbell.
These must be their second models.
They're coming.
Remember your orders! Hold the line! You won't get us that easy! Take this!
They do look really good.
Watch out!
All ships, evasive maneuvers!
Ah!
If we can just keep up the pressure.
Damn it!
No, that's my ship.
Gaius! Rosine! Shit. Don't tell me.
It's coming.
This was the final boss of Charles in the Sky 2?
How did they get it to land so precisely?
This is the one where, like, the arena itself was being, like, taken away, like, tile by tile.
Oh.
I think.
A little flashy for my taste, but not bad.
Oh, come on. This is just overkill.
What magnificent power! Even greater than the Empire's divine knights!
Ooh, nice one, Lady Val.
I guess that creepy doll obsession of yours makes you pretty good at controlling ions, huh?
Why, naturally. A marionette is a marionette, no matter the size.
Instructor! Are you gonna call him in?
Yeah, I'll leave everything else to you. Heed my call. Valimar!
Come! Ordine!
Of course.
Those are divine knights?
Valimar's gotta wake up at some
Even
point,
more
right?
impressive than I imagined.
Ah, finally bringing out your ace in the hole, huh?
However, we've accounted for this.
To me! Testarossa!
Come, Zector!
Two more of them?
Could this count as a
Vermilion
rivalry?
Palatinate Knights.
I feel like this could count as a rivalry.
Prince Cedric!
You sure you're up for this, old man?
Well then, since we have this chance, how about we start the rivalries right here and now?
I was gonna say.
Hey, cool your jets there, little prince. Doesn't count if we're not in a shrine.
Oh.
The Ion Gamma. Seeing it from the other side of the battlefield, it's overwhelming.
Having second thoughts? I really do pity you, Duvalie.
Hopefully you see now that you've bitten off more than you can chew.
Unfortunately, the situation will only get worse for you from here on.
Check and mate!
Is that LeBlanc?
They've returned.
Oh, it's Gilbert.
What do we do now?
Over the top laughing made me think of LeBlanc.
Off your asses, everyone! It's time to move!
Hold on, guys. We're coming for you.
Let's find our way up to the deck. I can teleport us there. Hold on.
No, that won't be necessary. We have one final landing craft left on board. With it, you will make your escape, along with Her Highness.
I'll head to the deck. Be sure to recover Schwarzer and the others when the chance strikes.
But that would mean leaving you behind. Just tell us, Muse, what are you trying to do here?
Lady Mildine accounted for this, should things go south. And as it so happens, everything went just as she predicted. This is our contingency plan. All we're doing is putting it into play.
Everyone, it's been my pleasure to know each and every one of you. I ask that you give Instructor Reen and the rest of Class 7 my deepest regards.
Muse, what are you saying?
I don't want to break the tension, but that's a really cool, like, rotating thing under the floor there.
You guys gonna go down with the ship or something?
If I was rich, like unlimited rich, I would totally have that.
We don't wish to die here. But dire straits call for dire measures.
Only if I could do it in a way where, like, I couldn't hear, like, the sounds of the motors. But if you have a thick enough floor, you could probably... That takes out a bunch of sound.
We will soon plot a course for the Crimson Arc. Ramming speed. There'll be no getting away for them, given the distance.
That's crazy. Even if you do take him down, a mid-air collision on that scale would blow you to smithereens.
Besides, what would the Viceland army do without its flagship?
And what of Mille Mirage? How do you expect it to go on if we lose all three of you?
Not to worry. Mille Mirage was set in motion the moment Lieutenant General Bright was named Supreme Commander. The Viceland Army's core forces need only await his orders, and I suspect Vita will come to their aid as well.
We're fully aware of how heavy a blow sacrificing this ship will be. But if it allows us to take down the Crimson Arc in turn, then as far as exchanges go, there are far worse moves to play.
Muse, Principal Le Guin. But why? Mildine. No, Muse. What reason is there for you to throw your life away as well?
It's only right that the one responsible for a plan that will kill millions joins them in death. I long ago decided to stand my ground with the generals, should it come to this. Though in truth, perhaps I'm simply not strong enough to bear all that grief.
You really...
As the Supreme Commander of the Viceland Army, I order you to evacuate this ship immediately. Notify all crew members. Prepare to execute Plan D.
As you wish.
Commence Plan D! For the glory of the Viceland Army!
Yes, my lord! Yes, your highness!
Are they actually
The
dying
landing craft is in
now?
the hold directly below. Make your way to the elevator at once. Or else, goddess be my witness, I will cut you down right where you stand.
Shit. Damn it all.
You leave us no choice.
Actually, I don't think we have to go at all. Huh?
Keto?
Kia? What do you mean?
She's exactly right.
It's the old man.
Suspend Plan D until further notice.
This course of action has already been discussed. I was under the impression we'd come to an agreement.
Indeed. You truly are a remarkable young woman, capable of influencing the very fate of the world itself. But it would seem both of us failed to give credit where credit was due. Namely, to the potential of the third path, and the wings which light its way.
Did you just say wings?
There's only one thing in Erebonia that comes to mind.
Yeah, they're coming! Ah! I recognize that sound!
What's coming?
Wait, isn't that...
Now what?
Is it the Gralsritter?
It's getting closer!
Another enemy airship? No.
Or Stallritter?
That ship! It's...
Dominion? I don't know what's happening. I feel like I should know what's happening, but I don't.
Confirm visual on enemy strike force. 3 ion units also confirmed.
Breaking into combat airspace. Ready to execute Plan 07.
Then let us tarry no longer. Landing party, are you prepared?
I fucking knew he wasn't dead.
You can just leave the rest
I
to us.
fucking knew he wasn't
We
dead.
shall take care of things from here on out.
I said this for like
To think I get to bear witness to such a dramatic scene firsthand.
I spent 80 plus hours saying he's not dead.
Such are the benefits that come with our roles on this stage.
I feel so vindicated. I knew it.
Been a long time since I had the chance to
It
get a
didn't
little
clue me in
wild.
when they were like wings or whatever, but like...
Attention all crew. Today marks the day of our maiden voyage. And what a day it is.
The second I heard the voice, I was like,
Blue
oh.
yonder is no place for confinement. Let us show them we won't so easily dance to their tune.
Aye, aye, Captain!
I'm like actually like a little bit giddy.
What is that thing?
The Macabre Unit 2? Wait, no! It's...
What? Was it always that crazy huge?
It didn't seem that big at first, but then when you see it in scale with the other ships, it's like, oh, okay.
Here they come! Hell yeah! Looks like the party's really getting started now!
Oh my god, we finally get to see Sherazard. Hey, it's Vita.
The hell'd you guys come from?
That looks really funny.
Hot damn. Talk about crashing a party.
Fear not. Your salvation has arrived.
Patrick! And not just him.
Shara! That's right. I hope you haven't gotten into too much trouble without me.
That is not even close to the voice I gave her, but it's still appropriate.
Sorry for dropping in out of the blue. I imagine it must be confusing for those of you I haven't met. My name is Sherazard Harvey, but some of you might know me better as the Liberlian Bracer Guild's Silver Streak.
You're Estelle's friend, aren't you? We heard you'd been missing for some time.
So you're okay after all?
Seems so, though she's certainly not the only familiar face to drop in.
I have to say, you two are the last people I would have expected to show up.
Ha ha! You should know this by now. Where the spotlight goes, so too shall I.
Better late than never, I suppose. This should help even the scales.
Phantom Thief B?
Huh, impressive. They use some kind of magic to stop the big guy here in his tracks.
I could learn quite a bit about being an Anguis from you. Perhaps you could give me some private tutelage sometime. Oh, I'm so sorry, but I'm afraid we're not quite on the same team here, so to speak.
What is even going on right now? I detect a layer to this that is beyond my comprehension.
Man, there's a lot I'd like to comment on, but now's not really the time.
You can say that again. It seems for once we're both on the same page.
How? How are you here? You were aboard the Courageous when it exploded. I saw it with my own eyes.
Yeah, the ship exploded.
Who can say? Maybe Adios spared me just so I could come spoil your fun.
You're Instructor Reen's friend.
Did we see or say it yet?
Sup, Reen? How you been?
Was he on the ship?
Good to see you too, Estelle. Joshua. I'm finally back from my little vacation in Gehenna.
It's possible he died.
No way.
Oliver was missing an eye. Or
You're
maybe he
okay.
just wants to wear an eye patch.
I can't
Who the
believe
fuck
it.
knows?
Huh. You don't look like much of an immortal to me. Doubt you could have gotten revived.
Yeah. As far as I can tell, he's just a perfectly normal guy from head to toe. Unlike us.
You telling me a regular-ass guy like you survived a whole friggin' ship exploding?
That's right. Like I said, I had Adios there looking out for me. Well, maybe not just Adios.
Well now, this doesn't quite match up with what we were told, now does it?
I'm starting to think someone played a dirty little trick on us.
It bears reminding that Master Toval was not the only passenger on the Courageous when it exploded.
Then... that would mean...
Ah, what a delight it is to know my memory lingers on in so many minds. Please, open your Arcus units and let your imagination become reality.
Now, where did they get a second one? For real, though. Like... Were they making it in secret? I think this is the first time we've seen Mille in the entire Cold Steel series. We still don't see Victor Arcade, though, so he may have actually died.
You'll have to excuse my aesthetic augmentation. Rest assured, before you sits the very same devilish rogue you've always known.
Olivert! You're alive! You were alive this whole time!
Like I said, I called this the moment he died. I was like, they're not dead.
And there's Mint and the others. They've been with His Highness all along.
It was too anticlimactic of them showing up to save the day and the ship instantly explodes, and I was just like, they're not dead.
Yeah, looks like they've got a few branch campus kids tagging along too.
Unbelievable. Looks like His Highness has got us beat.
Indeed. One might say he utterly outplayed us.
It's been a good while, Ring. I see you've gone through a bit of a makeover yourself. And just like yours truly, you're all the sexier for it, you handsome little rascal, you.
Your Highness, I can't believe it. You're really alive.
Now I know it's really you, because you just hit on me a little bit.
How? What in the world happened back then?
That's what we want to know. Why didn't you tell us? Do you have any idea how we felt when they came to the world and told us you blew up?
That's a very Estelle line right there.
I can only imagine. And for that, I cannot apologize enough. The circumstances which forced me to secrecy were as entangling as a rosebush, and twice as prickly.
Mammers is perfect as Olivert. He is really good as Olivert. Olivier, though.
But what does it matter? No remorse could hold us from the blooming jubilation of this long-awaited reunion of ours.
We can't argue with you there.
Granted, my version is incredibly cartoony.
Well, I suppose this explains why Cher went off the radar.
Pretty much. I happened to randomly stumble upon some info about his survival. That was why I had to cut off all contact. We couldn't have information like that leaking out to just anyone. Not only for Olivier's sake, but the Courageous Two's as well.
Well, I guess that makes sense, but... Oh, sorry, Reen. We kinda cut you off there, huh?
Not at all. Honestly, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around all this. I didn't expect to see you here either, Major Michael. Much less you, Lieutenant Colonel Mille.
Has Reen ever met Mille?
This is what
I guess
I meant
they
when I
have.
said I had plans of my own. It's been a fair bit longer for us, though, hasn't it, Schwarzer? A shame I couldn't say this sooner, but I'd like to thank you for all you've done for Kurt.
Mueller! Thank goodness you're alright. When I heard the 7th got disbanded, I didn't know what to think.
Ah, Kurt, there you are. I can tell you've gotten stronger since I last saw you, but I think it's best we set our family gathering aside for the time being.
Indeed.
I can't believe it. You survived after all. I'm so relieved.
Are you?
But I regret to inform you, Operation Jormungand is already underway. The same goes for that brazen Mille Mirage scheme. So tell me, Olivert, what could you possibly hope to accomplish with that overblown ship of yours at this point?
If I may hazard a guess, perhaps he's here to join Mille Mirage.
Alas, no. With Muse, Cassius, and all the other presiding dignitaries involved, Mille Mirage is in as good a set of hands as can be. I, or rather we, have appeared before you today for one reason, and one reason only.
Is the Courageous 2 going to be my home ship now?
To serve as the wings upon which deliverance to a third path is granted.
Hell yeah!
Jormungand and Mille Mirage. Two massive operations of unavoidable consequence. Yet amidst these titans is another force. Those unyielding in their hope that the twilight will soon give way to the dawn. Reem, Lloyd, and Estelle, and each of their companions that walk this path with them. Not to mention a multitude of others, all ready to lend aid to their cause. Across the continent, people of all walks are making the decision to follow their hearts.
This would ultimately be horrible. Because of...
So too shall we.
Because of gacha.
So that our wings may help them soar.
But a game like Genshin Impact,
And soaring, high above
but
the holds
set
of
in the
Erebonia's
The Legend of Heroes,
we will join together as one. To become the radiant rays of hope.
would be really cool.
Piercing through the oppressive darkness of despair.
Minus the gacha. There's
To
enough
that
characters for a gacha.
I hereby name us. Not the crimson wings of the Civil War.
I just like to imagine
or the
you can just
winds
like
of
wander
freedom on the
around
Western Front.
the entire world in full 3D and just
But
like
our third and greatest title, the Radiant Wings.
and have it all just like this huge big sweeping map, no loading zones or anything. You just go across the wilderness of Erebonia and the Burl, and everywhere that's been mapped currently.
The Radiant Wings, huh? Not a bad name.
But it would ultimately be gacha bullshit and really shitty in that regard.
It has a lovely ring to it, doesn't it?
Huh. Didn't even take you 5 minutes to flip the whole damn script on us.
Ha ha! Finer words have never been spoken, O eternal rival of mine.
Whew, boy. The dead keep cropping up one by one. We really screwed the pooch here, huh?
Then why don't we go ahead and make things right? This little charade ends here. Members of the Society, exterminate them all.
What?
Your Highness!
Seriously? Haven't you had enough yet?
Well, why not? I'm always up for a bit of slaughter and destruction.
And there's nothing quite like putting a damper on someone's parade.
I suppose we couldn't expect it to hold forever.
Shit, don't tell me.
It's engaging spatial annihilation. The Type Beta is switching to high-speed mode as well.
Now you've done it!
Enough chit-chat.
Where's
Time
my
to say
blorb?
goodbye.
I want my blorb.
Damn. It would seem they aren't bluffing.
Stop this at once, Cedric. Why are you still doing this? Oliver just came back to us.
Don't you see, Elfin? That's exactly why I must do this! I'm just as glad as you to see him alive again. But feelings such as that are only for the weak! We're ending this world and creating a new order in its place. And an undertaking this great leaves me no room for weakness!
Cedric is such
Chancellor
a tool.
Osborne entrusted me with a mission. And I swear, by my hand, I will carry it through!
I believe you've actually done quite enough for now, Your Highness.
Are we not having a Soldat fight?
Huh?
That voice.
My, speak of the devil.
Cedric was so nice too at first, and then he grew up a little bit, became a little shithead.
Chancellor Osborne!
Father.
Rufus, too.
Instructor Claire. Even you?
I come to you today from the Imperial capital. You'll have to excuse me for not attending in person. As for my fellow world leaders, President Rocksmith, Prince Albert, Princess Claudia, My warmest greetings to you all.
You're the last person I expected to make an appearance here today.
Our greetings to you as well. A shame we couldn't meet under better circumstances.
I must apologize for not giving you prior notice of our visit.
Not at all, Your Highness. This airspace is a neutral zone. No permission is needed from the Erebonian government to enter it. Lieutenant General Cassius Bright. Just how long has it been?
Since your surprise visit to Liberl? About 3 years. Though it appears your people have been fervently active in our regional capitals in your stead.
You flatter me. Our work is nothing compared to that of your team from R&A Research.
Are they talking about the Erebonian Intelligence Division?
Yeah. Richard and the others have been struggling to counter their efforts.
I see the Special Support Section has chosen to attend as well. I do hope our dear Rufus isn't causing you too many difficulties.
Here and there, perhaps. Though I would very much like to establish a better working relationship with them wherever we can.
What a barefaced liar.
It's a pleasure to meet you again, Your Excellency.
I can't help but be reminded of our conversation at Orcus Tower 2 years back.
Ah, yes. When we spoke of the resolve needed in trying times. How very nostalgic. And last, but certainly not least, Prince Olivert, my deepest apologies. I scarcely realized just how gravely I'd underestimated you. I imagine even the Duchess and her cohorts must share in my sentiment.
Indeed. It would seem I'm not as keen as I thought myself to be.
That's quite enough flattery for today, Your Excellency. As it currently stands, we can no longer stop either one of these grand operations from commencing. And yet, as I've already declared, we will continue on as the Wings of Passage. For Reen, Lloyd, Estelle, and every one of their allies. For I know in my heart of hearts that their light will shine through to the very end.
Your Highness, if we weren't sure of ourselves before, we definitely are now.
He's trying way too hard to sound cool.
Be my guest. You may flit around as much as you please. But know this. You have only 6 days before Operation Jormungand makes its move.
Huh? As one of the authors behind this plan, allow me to issue a declaration. The order to commence Operation Jormungand will be officially given at the stroke of noon on the 1st of September.
D-Day. The start of the Great War.
Indeed. And
What does the D
preceding it,
stand
an
for in
omen
D-Day?
of epic proportions to which the entire continent will bear witness. The harbinger of the end of the world, the Great Twilight.
The same day will also mark the beginning of the rivalry of the Seven. Jaeger King Rutger Clausel, I hope you are prepared.
Sure am.
And what of you, Seventh Anguis of Ouroboros, Arian Road the Steel Maiden?
I have no objections.
I must admit, I'm deeply interested in how you all managed to escape that explosion. But I can wait until a more appropriate time to satisfy my curiosity.
Then it's true.
Yeah. Though I bet the Phantom Thief had something to do with it.
Now, if I may have your attention, everyone. I'd like to present 2 individuals who deserve some recognition for their contributions to the rivalries.
Mother!
This is literally just a grand reunion of every character in the entire story, isn't it?
And Professor Schmidt, too?
So when you said you were leaving on business...
Hello. I suspect this comes to you as somewhat of a surprise.
Remember when there was gameplay? I'm gonna be honest. It's a little too much on the story. This is why it's taking me so long to play through this, because I know I'm just sitting here for hours on end.
That I simply assisted with an off-the-record request from the Erebonian government. That is all. Miss Croyce, the professor and I have completed fine-tuning the device, as you asked.
I think that's why, because I noticed, because I've been playing Tactics Ogre the last week, and I looked at my time played, and I'm up to like 55 or 60 hours on it, and like it's gone by like that. And yet in this, I'm up to like 70 or 80, and it feels like it's been forever. And it's because in Tactics Ogre, it's like 90% gameplay, 10% story. And in this game, it's like 90% story, 10% gameplay.
Marvelous. The both of you have my utmost appreciation.
You can save your empty gratitude for someone else. I am simply working toward my own goals, nothing more.
And it's more specific to Cold Steel 3 and 4. They've just been like adding more and more and more and more and more like story stuff, dialogue stuff, interpersonal stuff, and it's just piled on to the point where 80 hours of game is like 15 hours of actual playing and 65 hours of talking and cutscenes.
What exactly are you planning, Belle?
Allow me to make one final introduction to our roster. One not even we expected. And yet, one that will surely prove instrumental in setting the stage for the rivalries.
Uh-huh. Now that you mention it, I haven't seen McFirebro around in a while.
Yo, you called? Man, I love it when there's a time limit. Really gets the blood pumping, you feel me? But I ain't the star here. Hey, come on out already.
No way.
Alright, well he ain't dead.
Viscount Arcade?
He has a mask on.
So this is what became of you.
I was curious how and where you'd managed to wander off after losing your left arm.
His left arm. Father. So you've turned even the Radiant Blade Master into one of your puppets then?
That would be wrong, for I am no puppet. I am Victor S. Arcade. I have lost neither my memories nor my sense of self.
What's with the mask, then?
It brings me no small pain for us to meet again like this, Cassius.
We've established that that's what the mask does. It did it to 2 people.
Perhaps. But it's no small delight to know you're still alive as well. I can only assume this is the curse compelling you against your will.
Huh? Know something we don't, old man?
A similar case occurred in Liberl 3 years ago.
In Phantasma.
We encountered artificial copies of people who had the same memories and personalities as the originals.
I forgot about that.
You're trying to tell me it's happening all over again?
No, that was in the Recluse Cube. What we have here in Erebonia is something on a far greater scale than that.
Yeah, the curse is forcing Mr. Viscount to do whatever it wants him to. He's the strongest swordmaster in the Empire. That's why he was chosen to set the stage for the rivalries.
Precisely. All to create the best possible conditions for the resurrection of the Great One.
So that's how it works. It's almost as though the curse has a consciousness, a will of its own.
No, Father.
Wouldn't it have the will of the Great One?
So his skills as one of the greatest swordsmen on the continent are being used against him.
Pretty sure that Gwen hasn't beat now. She does have better step-on-me-mommy attitude than Arcade does.
There's no need for anguish. These are nothing more than the whims of fate.
And as we know, that makes you stronger.
When next we meet, it will be as heralds of the rivalries. Reen, Laura, I expect you to put forth your very best when the time comes to pit steel against steel.
Catch you when the fun finally starts. We'll be waiting.
Alrighty, guess we'd best head out ourselves.
Best of luck, Miss Maiden. If I see you again, it'll be between my crosshairs.
Very well. I will await that moment with bated breath. Ines, Anea, return to me. I will require you at my side once more.
Return to me.
Yes, my lord.
I want to like nerd out and make a list of like the strongest characters, but that sounds like a nightmare. You know what? I think after I'm done Cold Steel 4, I should do a tier list. Although I'd be too lazy to get my own pictures, I'd have to hope that someone has already done that before. So I can just easily just like do the tier list thing.
As you wish.
Instead of getting like pictures of every single character.
Ha! Busy times ahead for all of us, huh?
Our final battlefield draws near. The very thought is enough to make the blood stir.
Just what kind of farce do all of you take this for? We aren't finished here! Not by a long shot! Who do you think you are, deserting your duty?
Sorry, kid. We got our priorities.
That's quite enough, Your Highness. The task you were given was a greeting, a show of formality and nothing further. Evidently, you have failed to understand that. I have to warn you against overstepping your bounds. Or must I remind you of your position as an Ironblood?
Your Highness.
Now, let us leave the matter at this. Return to Heimdall for now, Your Highness. There yet remains an important role you must play.
Understood.
Boss, Zeno, Leo. My lord.
Ouch! Bet Princey Boy's gonna sulk on that one for weeks.
Looks like the party's over now. What a shame. I was having so much fun.
I do hate to cut our engagement short, but I believe it's time we made our exit.
Understood.
See you around, guys! Continue on with your struggle, vain as it may be. I want to relish making you squirm before we finish you off for good.
Now, if you'll excuse us.
I would be impressed if I was playing a game like this, right?
Hey! Wait for me!
And then, say the main character, let's say Reen, because he's got like demon ogre power. Imagine he fell to like the demon ogre power like he did early in the game, right? But in a more like controlled way, in the sense that like he's just like done trying to be like the optimistic hero because it keeps failing, and he starts being willing to just like kill his enemies. And so when we have a big battle like this, he straight up just killed somebody. And then then the story kind of continues on from there. And instead of us like refighting everybody and everyone lives and everything's all hunky-dory, we eventually just kill them. And then when we fight them, it's over because they're dead.
We gotta get out of here! 6th Enhanced Jaeger Brigade, fall back! Get moving!
Belle, just how far will you take this?
I'd be impressed if a game like this decided to like have that as a twist.
First Sharon, and now Mother too?
Guess we won't be settling the score this time around.
Because I think for all the boss fights, we've fought... Well, I have fought most of those characters like so many times.
We'll go ahead and see ourselves out too.
And we keep winning. And I guess narratively they're just toying with us, but sometimes they're not. And we could just finish the job.
George! So you're gonna leave without saying a single thing, again?
Don't worry.
We'll be able to settle things soon.
And then it can be like a theme of like, are we the bad guys kind of thing.
But don't expect any mercy from me when that happens.
The Keeper setting his power level? I suppose they do.
Right. Real convincing.
George, or would you prefer I call you Georg? Either way, I owe you my thanks.
You can keep them. Farewell. Man, that guy really isn't cut out for this.
Look who's talking.
Exactly. You're no different.
Whoa! Didn't realize you guys were keeping demons up in that ship.
Oh, Lecter. I can only guess who you're referring to.
Still, it really is wonderful to see you again. It's been so long since we last met at the trade conference.
I won't even bother scolding you anymore, Lecter. All I ask is that you promise me one thing. That we'll still have a class reunion, no matter how this all ends.
See what I mean? It's like, we're always on the opposite side, but no one actually, like, really hates each other.
Leo wants just the same. Jill and Hans do too.
Sheesh. You guys just can't learn to let it go, can you? Fine. I'll bite. Now, making a promise cost me nothing, after all. You just gotta promise me that you survive long enough to get there.
I'm definitely someone that appreciates a darker story, so...
Of course. The same goes for you.
I'll be waiting, with a fist curled and ready to knock some sense back into you, so be prepared.
So sometimes when I hear things like, after all this is over, we're having a class reunion, I just want to roll my eyes.
I'm glad everyone was able to have this chance to see each other one last time.
Like, I know you're working to, like, destroy the entire world and everything, but I want us to have a class reunion once we solve all that, once we solve that little issue.
With this period of relative peace nearing its end, may each of us give every last ounce of our strength in the coming days. And Reen, you have a decision to make. Will you give in to your cursed destiny? Rebel against your fate? Will you simply flee? Or will you continue to struggle with every fiber of your being until you have seen this abyss of despair through to the end?
He's just taunting us. Like, that's an obvious taunt.
Whether we'll ever meet again, I can't say for sure. But if we do, I guarantee you'll have no doubt about which path I've taken.
My goodness, His Excellency certainly is impulsive. Farewell, everyone. May you enjoy what little time you have left before the end of days is upon us.
I pray that you all have a safe journey home. Be assured that neither the Imperial Army nor Ouroboros will interfere with your return.
On that note, you are also free to go and visit His Majesty at his bedside, should you so desire. As for you, Lloyd, I have temporarily suspended your arrest warrant. I imagine you'd like a chance to visit those dear to you. Far be it from me to hold you from your final farewells.
Wait, really?
Think of it as my personal apology to you for Operation Birdcage. We will be recalling our troops from Mille as well. Why don't you enjoy yourselves there one last time?
We're gonna have the precursor to the final showdown where everyone goes to Mille. And then we're gonna have lots of conversations.
I'd like to thank you for the consideration. Though not half as much as I'd like to deck you in the face!
And then that's also when I get to choose my special scene with whichever one character I want. Am I right? I'm right, aren't I? I feel like I'm right.
Instructor Claire.
They're always so difficult to get through to.
Well, this has been a most productive encounter. I don't know if I trust them to not interfere with our return, so we'll be taking our leave as soon as possible. I wish you all the best of luck in the coming days. May each of us do our utmost no matter what path we've chosen.
I shall find a way to pay my respects to His Majesty before setting a course back home. With that, farewell for now.
Princess Elphin, Lady Mildine, and General Le Guin, congratulations on rallying so many to your side this day. As for Rean, Lloyd, Estelle, and all the rest, may Adios give you her blessing, wherever your endeavors might take you. And once again, Prince Olivert, I can't express enough how much of a relief it is to see you alive.
Always a pleasure brightening your day with a bit of bewilderment. And Cassius, though we walk different paths for now, perhaps we could meet for a drink one day. I imagine Zin would be eager to join.
Zin is just in Calvard, right? Which is why we haven't seen him.
Ha! I'll be sure to take you up on that. Estelle, Joshua, Ren, Sherazard, Agate, Tita. We shall meet again. Take care of yourselves, as well as each other.
He's the one character I keep forgetting about because he has no appearance in the Cold Steel whatsoever.
For sure. We may not be on the same team exactly, but good luck all the same, Dad.
You better not get beat by some Imperial hotshot, you got it?
You can leave any matters in Erebonia to me. I'll make sure to be close in touch with Sarah.
The Society's at work all over the continent. Be careful out there, Dad.
We'll let you know if we discover anything about their plans. Be careful, Mr. Bright. You too, Chloe.
That was way too intense.
I think we've been on this deck for like an hour since the boss fights.
Agreed. Not just the battles themselves, but the entire situation.
Yeah. Having the fate of the entire continent at stake can get a little overwhelming.
Huh. Don't go wussing out on us just yet. We're finally in the home stretch.
Are we?
Yes, that we are.
Are we?
Muse?
You changed your clothes back.
So I have. I suppose we should count ourselves lucky things ended up as nice as they did.
I swear. Muse? You don't really think your signature sweet smile will be enough for us to forgive you, do you?
Huh?
I was about to ask just the same.
You were about to pull some real wild shit back there, weren't you?
Just so you know, we overheard your conversation on the bridge. I need to have more than just a few words with you, as your instructor.
Yes, Instructor Rean.
I'm surprised she didn't turn that into something sexy.
That was strangely meek of her.
It was.
What, you sick or something? More so than usual, I mean.
I'd say she realized she went a bit too far this time around.
Though perhaps we're partially to blame for all the pressure we've placed upon her.
Such is the folly of youth, wouldn't you say?
Olivert.
It pleases us all to have you grace us in good health, Your Highness.
You'll have to direct your thanks to the many others who helped this come to pass. Our endgame is nigh, Rean. Should you wish it, my wings are prepared to lift you to a new path.
I can't tell if they're breaking the fourth wall about being in the home stretch and the end is nigh or not. Because I assume this is just, okay, now Act 3 begins. And I assume Act 3 will be just as long as Act 2, which was very long.
It would be our honor, Your Highness. But before that, on behalf of us all, welcome back.
And I guess Act 3 would be the next 6 days. And then the final act would be the final act.
It's good to be back.
Aren't I so good with
Now
my
then,
words?
Ladies and gentlemen, Liberlians, Crossbillons, and Erebonians alike. Welcome aboard the second successor of the high-speed cruiser Arcee, the Courageous 2.
I think Crossbillite sounds better. Yeah, that's the end of Act 2. Yeah, there's still over 100 AP to go.
Oh, wow! You really outdid yourselves!
I've been getting S's though. I got A's at the beginning of the game, but now I'm getting S's nonstop. Oh, what was the last save? 76 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah, that was about 2 hours. Okay. I'm debating if I want to keep going. I kind of do. Let's just keep going. Are we still in West Arabonia? I assumed it would have expanded a little bit to the east, but I guess the east is the front lines. I can sleep when I'm dead. Like, I'm not thinking of sleeping. My sleep schedule is fucked. I've been going to bed at like 6, 7 in the morning. I just, you know. I'm a little cutscened out. So, I've been streaming for 4 hours. It's been about 3 hours of cutscene. So I was not wrong when I first started the stream. There was just action earlier than I thought it would be. This is a nice ship. Am I gonna have full access? Am I gonna just be able to like run around this massive ship?
Despite being a new model of ship, the system you see here largely emulates that of the previous Courageous. Our operations manual only covers the bare minimum. Should you find anything lacking, you'll have to figure it out as you go.
Understood. I'll make sure to pass it on to everyone else.
In total, it spans a length of 92 Arj, a considerable step up from the previous 74 Arj class. However, because the ship is so much bigger, you'll need to carefully watch the speed and engine output.
Ha! So she's a wild one, eh? Sounds to me like this girl's gonna need a bit more taming than the last one.
This terminal should give you complete command over all the ship's facilities and fire control systems. It comes equipped with anti-hacking measures, specially developed by Professors Albert and Erica Russell themselves.
You mean Mom and Grandpa made it? We should have no problems then.
Incredible. Every inch of equipment on this ship is state-of-the-art.
I like Tita's mom and grandpa. They're quite hilarious characters.
And that computer's one of the Epstein Foundation's next-generation models. Weren't they only just developed?
They were in the game very little, and yet they made a big enough impression that I can still remember them.
That's right. And its hull has the latest innovations in hydrodynamic engineering, courtesy of the Ruhr Institute of Technology. Plus, it seems to be outfitted with ZCF's newest next-gen orbital engine, too.
Look how much she loves to hate Agate. Exactly.
It only gets more and more unbelievable every time I hear it. Just how did you manage to construct a cutting-edge ship like this abroad in total secrecy, without anyone finding out?
As I stated earlier, there are a great deal of individuals who helped me make this happen. Such as Mr. Gwyn here, for instance.
Mm-hmm. The story here goes all the way back to right after the Civil War. Considering the way it ended, His Highness decided to approach me for some advice. He had me prepare this ship for him, all in anticipation of the day when the Crimson Wings would be torn from the sky.
So that's why.
Huh. I do remember His Highness mentioning something about you being his advisor.
Still, for the construction site to be located in the Kingdom of Liberal's Valeria Lakeshore, on top of an old Ouroboros secret base to boot? Talk about a plot twist. I remember that base. You're referring to the research facility that the Faceless constructed during the incident in Liberal. I heard that after the dust settled, it was handed over to ZCF to manage. It does seem like Grandpa and the others use it for some kind of research. So not just Gwyn and Professor Schmidt pitched in, but Professor Russell and Her Majesty Alicia too. Whereas Cassius and the Crown Princess were none the wiser. If you want to fool your enemies, you gotta fool your friends first, huh? Classic. As for funding, in addition to His Highness Olivert, Gwyn and His Majesty Eugent also contributed from their personal holdings. But perhaps the most unexpected benefactors were Father and Marquis Rockner. Indeed, quite a cunning play by those two. I imagine that keeping this from the Alvarez was all in the name of avoiding the eye of the Intelligence Division? Yes, the same with the Cayennes, I'm sure. And so, your new set of wings were completed independently of both the government and the Viceland Army. I don't know if I should do the Olivier voice. No. When he's Olivier, I'll do the Olivier voice. Otherwise, I'll just speak. When I said we were preparing for our original wings to be torn away, I only expected they'd be commandeered by the government. To be perfectly frank, the thought that they would be physically torn apart never even crossed my mind. This isn't a laughing matter, for the record. Indeed, just being alive is reason enough to give thanks to Adios, even at the cost of a left eye. Your Highness, I hate to ask, but what's the prognosis? A full recovery doesn't seem to be in the cards, unfortunately. But as a musician, I'm just grateful that my hands and ears made it through in one piece. I suppose I have them to thank for that, eh? So you owe your life to George's inner turmoil and the whims of that phantom thief, huh? You have an unbreakable spirit, Your Highness. Don't sell yourself short.
This is...
I underestimated them. Shara, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Ein. Looks like I messed up.
Goddess, please protect my daughter.
You have 15 seconds until the hull collapses. So before then, I will offer you one final wager. A gravitational barrier will appear on the bridge for exactly 24 seconds. Let's see if you can come back from this.
Adios, help us! You gotta stay calm.
Get down and brace for impact!
Over there!
Damn! The gravitational barrier!
It's not gonna hold.
Don't give up just yet!
Was I a moment too late? Nay, surely a flicker of hope yet remains. Can you still be plucked from the jaws of Gehenna? Show me just how far that luck of yours will take you, my dearest rival.
I still can't believe that our friend, the Phantom Thief, saved you from all that wreckage. Guess his parlor tricks are good for something. That's what he used to spirit everyone away in one piece. No wonder they couldn't find so much as a single body. On top of that, he sealed His Highness, the crew, and even the Viscount's grave wounds, didn't he? That's right, I was injured too, but somehow I made it out relatively unscathed. When the Viscount jumped in to block the hole in the barrier, I couldn't even use my arts to help him. I'd never felt so worthless in my entire life. I'm sorry, Laura, I dropped the ball when it mattered most. Like I've told you, Toval, you have nothing to apologize for. I'm just relieved you made it out alive. I'm sure Father shares my sentiment. Well, if you say so. I admit I thought Viscount Arcade more or less invincible. I was stunned speechless to see him in that state. For him, losing his left arm means he'll just swing twice as hard with his right. Power is but an extension of oneself, and what is a sword if not power wrought in steel? But ultimately, it's not the might of one's blade, but will and strength of spirit that decide the battle. The words of his lordship from the Infernal Castle 2 years ago. So ridiculously cool. Okay, Edgelord. Given who we're talking about, I expect he'll only emerge stronger from the experience. Alright, have a good night, Soryu. If that's the case, this could well become the most difficult trial we've faced yet. I'm inclined to agree. It'd be prudent for us to account for every contingency. It's also the promise we made with Lloyd, Estelle, and the others. True that. We can't let them best us. But what exactly is Rose up to? Sorry about my grandmother, she has a way of being evasive. I definitely was a little surprised by how sudden that all was. If it involves the rivalries, though, the only thing to do is go and check it out, right?
For those of you who have not yet had the honor, my name is Roselia Milstein. I am the elder of Erebonia's Hexen clan. Emma and Vita are my disciples in the magical arts. It is a pleasure to finally meet you, Prince Olivert, as well as the storied children of Crossbell and Laburl.
How do you do? Until this moment, I'd only heard of you through rumor and legend. I've heard that you watched over the laying of Erebonia's foundation by Arnor I. Is that really true? Well, actually, that was my predecessor. It was Emperor Hector and Prince Drycles who I was best acquainted with 800 years ago. I cannot say the family resemblance is all that strong in you, but you definitely have a familiar fire in your heart. It's quite an honor to hear you say so. I heard about Roselia from Ren. 800 years old, even seen it with my own eyes, I can't quite believe it. I've heard a few things about those of you back there as well, glowing tales from Ragnard and Zeit both. Wait, what? Ragnard? For real? We haven't seen Zeit since... We spoke shortly before they vanished. Even I have no idea of their whereabouts now, however. That's a shame. From the sound of it, Cassius doesn't know either. Ragnar, the ancient dragon inside the divine wolf. Two of the beasts entrusted with overseeing the Septarions.
Indeed. Beings sent forth by Adios, much like the holy beast of Earth.
Was that that dragon we killed that was infected?
Thomas Lysander, second dominion of the Gralsritter. Estelle, Lloyd, I've heard many a rumor about your respective endeavors. As for you, Your Highness, I don't think we've had the chance to talk since you were last at the main campus.
Oh, to think that you, a history teacher, are a dominion of the Gralsritter. I must say, I was quite frustrated that I was unable to see what was really going on, despite my ties to Kevin. That's the only mention of Kevin at all. I see, so I guess that means you heard about us from Kevin and Reese. It sounds like you learned about us from Wazzy, right? Right, we're having all of them operate outside of Erebonia at the present. They're out there resisting Ouroboros and their allies working towards the Great Twilight in secret. 1st, 4th, 5th, and 6th Anguis. It seems the enforcers who haven't come to Erebonia are also all out on operations. Looks like the intelligence division's been active in other countries too. They're making some pretty serious moves. Red Constellation's main regiment and the War God too. So Uncle Sigmund is finally on the move? Yes, Arios and Rishi are responding to their actions. It's the same with Noel, Chief Sergei, and Dudley, isn't it? I hope they're all okay. To be honest, things are looking fairly grim. So much so that the Papal Guard, or Papal Guard, has begun to act on its own and is cooperating with Operation Millage. I suspected as much. Now, it's truly not the time for them to be going off on their own like this. Even during the Night Touched affair 200 years ago, the Papal Guard managed to make a nuisance of themselves. For the time being, though, let us focus on the main issue at hand, the rivalry of the Seven. I have been closely monitoring the disturbance in the spirit veins, and there has been a surprising development. As soon as the commencement date for Operation Jormungand in Millage was announced, activity in the spirit veins reached a fevered peak. Though the reason why is still unclear, it seems the announcement itself is connected to the spread of the disturbance. What? What, you mean the spirit veins reacted to today's events? The boss moving out might be related too. Yes, as well as my father, the Still Maiden, and the others. This probably involves Mother and Sharon too. And Maribel, she seems to be working with RF somehow. There are likely many causes, but we now have a different grave situation on our hands. Meanwhile, spirit veins across the entire continent have begun activating. It's no longer limited to the Empire. Wait, what the hell? The disturbance was initially a gradual ripple outward from the Empire, but it seems to be matching the coming war in its scope. Right, that's the Great Twilight at work. They need it in full swing for the rivalries to even be possible. I imagine even now they're preparing for the ultimate reformation of the Great One. If only there was something we could do.
The solution is simple. Use this ship to whatever end you see fit. The rivalry of the Seven appears to be the true objective behind this plan of the Chancellor and the Gnomes. That much we can safely assume. And yet, it is this very same objective that may be our sole hope in preventing the disaster to come.
You for real here? It's true that ever since this curse was unleashed, it's felt as though everything's being guided by some unseen force. With that in mind, it'd be near impossible to try and prevent the war altogether.
That's probably why Dad and Chloe opted for Operation Millage instead.
Well, if you stop the rivalries, it'll stop the curse, which will maybe stop the war.
But while we're on it, what exactly is this curse anyway?
We know full well the sort of strife a Septarian can cause. We saw so ourselves during the incident in Liberl a few years back. There, we had to come face to face with the same issues our ancestors contended with 1,200 years ago.
It was the same for us. We fought back against a centuries-long plan to artificially recreate a Septarian. One that had been lost due to mankind's own hubris.
Yeah, I almost made a really big mistake back then. But then Lloyd and the others came and made everything all right again.
In Liberl, a ring that could grant any heart's desire, and in Crossbell, a tree that could rewrite destiny itself. Each one a blessing, yet each one a curse. But in spite of that, Estelle, Lloyd, and everyone else faced them head on. They didn't lose heart even once.
Unlike Rain.
Therefore, discovering the truth is your responsibility.
He is the worst of the three.
It's not something Estelle, or Lloyd, or even the rest of us can
I
accomplish.
barely know Lloyd. I can already tell
Only
he's a
you,
better character.
Class 7 of Thor's military academy.
The Empire's facing threats both on its surface and behind the scenes. And you're no strangers to kicking tail on either of those fronts. I can't think of a more tenacious bunch out there. The way I see it, you guys are the only ones who can do this.
It's up to us then.
Naturally, the Courageous Two has its own missions to see to. We must travel around the country helping people and gathering allies. Even so, I have no doubt that we can still serve as your wings of passage. More so with the Merkaba out of commission. After all, the difference in size should be more than enough to fit, say, 2 Divine Knights and 4 Panzer Soldats?
Olivert.
Excuse me, I have 5.
You've put so much thought into this. We appreciate it.
For Muse Ash, yeah, no, I have 5. Fuck off, game. I have the one for Tina.
Then Thor's Military Academy's Class 7 would be honored to take you up on that offer, Your Highness.
I've yet to use it, though, I think.
We'll do everything we can to assist you in your efforts as fellow members of the Radiant Wings.
We'll help too. It's only fair after all you've done for the branch campus students.
If you ever need someone to make that ship purr, I'm your gal.
Fabulous! Delighted to have you. You see, we've been rather lacking in the crew department.
Well, I sure as hell ain't sitting this one out. What kind of instructor would I be otherwise?
Count me in too. I mean, we're finally all back together again.
Like we said, we're gonna be off doing our own thing, but we'll still be helping out.
Same with us. We'll be catching a ride on the Bobcat too after we're done here.
Now that you mention it, you did both say you'd be working separately.
Yeah, the plan is to cover Eastern Erebonia, North Ambria, and Jirai.
You mentioned getting in touch with HQ in Le Mans. Guess that means you guys are heading out too, huh, Shara?
We are, though we won't be leaving the ship until tomorrow.
Sarah, Fee, you guys got things covered here, yeah?
Of course. When have we ever let you down?
Call us if you need anything, okay?
I guess this is goodbye for now then, huh?
Yeah, we've got some stuff to take care of back in Crossbell.
Don't worry. We'll be seeing each other again before you know it. In the meantime, let's give this our all.
Yeah! We got this, Yuna! Right!
Seems like we'll be able to divide things up by region then. You should be able to just leave everything with the Merkaba Unit 8 up to Rosine, Gaius. I'll be arranging for its repairs at a nearby location. Really am in your debt, Thomas. You too, Rosine, thank you. No worries, please look after everyone. It will not be easy, but our shred of hope is coming to view. The time has come for me to undergo my final undertaking. Grandmother? What do you mean, final undertaking? Listen well, children of Class 7. As noted, the spirit veins throughout the land are activating, and they are disordered, as they've never been before. The same can be said for the shrines, the stages for the rivalries. This includes the Luna Shrine, the only shrine we witches have overseen since ancient times. The Luna Shrine. Isn't that close to Mulsante? Yes, it is the location of the reflecting pool, and generation after generation of wandering witches have washed over it. This pool reflects the genuine truth, and it is believed to be connected to the origin of the Black Records. I didn't expect to hear those mentioned here. Yes, I myself was just told about it the other day. I suggest anyone interested in the real truth behind the curse to come. I swear on my true name I shall provide the answers to your doubts, rest assured. To do so, however, I will require Class 7 to undergo a trial of sorts. You will need to come along as well, Celine. Oh, and fair warning, your human form will be required for this. Huh? Grandmother? I may not be able to get X Master Quartz, but I'd love that Oberon one. Just a regular is fine. We thought the Luna Shrine was a dead end, but there was more to it after all. This will be the trial for the entirety of Class 7. I'm reminded of our adventures in the old schoolhouse 2 years ago. Ah, you mean where everyone first met Valimar? Yeah, and then that crazy go-nuts corridor appeared at the end. Reverie Corridor. Knowing what we know now, I think that place is yet another sort of shrine. I don't know what my grandmother's intentions are, but we should prepare ourselves for anything. For crying out loud, why am I'm not even part of Class 7. Just admit it already, Celine. You're one of us, whether you like it or not. This will be the first time we've seen your human form since the Black Workshop, huh? Ah, to gaze upon both Celine's lovely figure and the reflecting pool in the same day. but fortuitous timing. Once everyone's done their little tour around the Courageous 2, we can head for Lake Gala. It'll probably be wise to land out on the water, to put a little distance between ourselves and Milsante. Learning to switch between the silent navigation and optical camouflage modes is going to be critical here. Understood. Things are starting to heat up. Next, our plan is to head ashore, with each group making their approach from the target locations. Fortunately, Estelle, Lloyd, and the others are already a step ahead of us gathering intel. I'm sure they'll have a hit on something useful by the time you get out. We'll be expecting good news, guys, but seriously though, take care of yourselves out there. Right, that goes for you too. It means so much to know you've got our backs. Class 7, it's time to make sure your preparations are set. We'll need every pair of hands we can get around the ship, so those of you in a position to pitch in, please do so. Absolutely, Instructor. Makes sense, even with everyone from the branch campuses here, this is a pretty huge ship. Alright, it's probably best to make one more round, just to be sure. Courageous 2 is a newly constructed ship, but something about it feels nostalgic. Maybe I'll do one final sweep around the floor myself prior to departure. Alright, I need to find everyone going ashore and wish them luck again. Alright, it's a big-ass ship. A big-ass ship. There's no bonding points, though. It's not bonding time. It's talking time, but it's not bonding time. Yeah. That's a lot of entry notes, though. How are we doing on these? Oh.
I'll take a look.
Yeah, I didn't think it'd be enough. I don't think I even got any books. Alright, landscape photos. I've beaten. This is only halfway. This is why it scares me how long this game is. This is only halfway. Unless I start getting like a whole bunch. Act 3. But yeah, I am gonna call it here. It was 3+ hours of cutscenes. I don't feel like more dialogue. So yeah, I'm gonna call it here for now. Plus it is pretty late. I wanna have a snack.
Okay.
Or it gets way too late for me to eat. So yeah, if you enjoyed your time here, feel free to follow if you're not done so already. But until next time, thanks for hanging out.